What's up, Vinyl community? I'm Peaches. Welcome back to the Vinyl Countdown. Today I'm making a video for a contest for Ronnie's Record Room. So this is my response video for the contest that Ronnie has right now, and I think it's called Just One More. And the contest is based on having multiple copies of one record or one group or one artist. And why? The question is why? Okay. This video is going to be a little bit personal for me, so I hope I'm not getting too out of line. It's still going to be PG, but I get a little emotional. Okay, why? Because I have a rich history with this band, and this band is the band I have on my t-shirt right now, Winger. I started out as a huge fan of Winger. I have this Winger album. This is the self-titled Winger album, or you could call it Sahara. The techies call it Sahara. I call it self-titled. Okay? I have the record, the CD, and the tape. Okay? But I'm also feeling like cheating a little bit on this contest, and I'm going to tell you why in a few minutes. Here's another Winger record, Winger in the Heart of the Young. Both of these records have some of the most awesome power ballads on the planet. I live for power ballads, and they also have some pretty big hits. The biggest one off of this one is the power ballad Miles Away. This one came after Sahara. Okay, and this one's got 17, Heading for a Heartbreak, and it actually has a remake of Purple Haze on it. Okay, and for the second one, this is actually signed. I don't know if you can see the signature there. And then here's a photograph of Paul Taylor signing the record. So this band means quite a bit to me. I'm gonna show you how much this band means to me. Okay? That's me in the middle of the Winger band. Photograph. Yep, that's all the guys, except for one that comes in and out once in a while because they're on tour a lot. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I chose both of these and why it means so much to me talking about this. Like I said, from the beginning, these guys came around in about 1988, all right? And from the beginning, I was a huge fan. And one of the two reasons why I became a huge fan of these guys. One was that they were a hair band, which is a given for me. And it was my time. I was in high school. Junior high school. Yeah. And the second reason is that for a hair band, say what you will, but these guys had way more mature lyrics in their songs than a lot of the other hair bands did. This first album by Winger is all about relationships. It's all about a dude with a lot of hormones that has a lot of problems in his life and a lot of chick problems, okay? Every song on this thing talks about your problems with your girlfriend or your wife or whoever. And I invite you, please go take a good listen to this album. Sure, it's got 17 on it. She's only 17, but, you know, just forget about that for a minute, all right? Listen to the rest of the songs. They're very good. They're very good. Okay, so why am I trying to cheat right now? Why am I trying to use both of these with my multiple copies? Because back in 1993, I lost it. Why? Because of a couple of really stupid guys called Beavis and Butthead. Yep, in 1993, Beavis and Butthead came out, and it was a cartoon on MTV. And Beavis and Butthead, everybody probably knows who Beavis and Butthead are. Okay, well, Beavis and Butthead had a little neighbor kid named Stuart that they always picked on because he wore a Winger shirt. and he was a Winger fan. And, you know, I might as well have been Stuart the dork back in junior high and high school. And that's because that's how I felt all the time. Okay? But Stuart, they made fun of him all the time. They made fun of Winger all the time. And it made Winger go down the tubes. Okay? And it didn't matter which one of these you had. Because this was both pre-93. Okay? So Beavis and Butthead tore these guys apart, literally, for real in real life. Okay? Their record sales went to hell. Pardon my French. And the band didn't do well. Plus, they had grunge to go up against. They were going up against Nirvana on their second album. And I loved them so much. And I was like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Why is this happening? Okay. So, being that all of that was happening at that time, it became really hard to be a Winger fan. Because before Beavis and Butthead was, oh, Winger, cool. Winger, cool. Oh, yeah, they're part of the group, whatever. And then when after Beavis and Butthead came out, everyone around me was, oh, you like Winger? Whenever we get in a conversation about music, oh, who do you really like? I like Winger. And I would never let up. And they'd be like, oh, you like Winger? Oh, they suck. Oh, Winger. Ha ha ha. And they'd laugh me off. Because I thought it was all because of Beavis and Butthead. And I noticed it. It was bad. It got really bad. And I just kept ignoring everybody. But here is the essence of this competition and why I'm kind of cheating a little bit, okay? It's because of this. This video and this competition is, for me right now, is not about how many copies I have of this. It's how many copies I have had in the past. And let me tell you why. When this Beavis and Butthead came out and wrecked these guys' career, all of a sudden mine started, my copies, I started out with the tape and the disc. I got this later. But I started out with the CD, and one CD walks away from my collection. What? Okay. And then another CD. I go get another one, another CD walks away from my collection immediately. Who and what is going on here? Finally, after the 5th copy of this got stolen from me out of my collection, following following Beavis and Butthead's, entrance into the world, I had to lock these up. I had to put them away. Because everybody, here's my theory, everybody turned into a closet fan. And nobody would admit to knowing these guys or knowing their music or liking their music, but they had no problem sneaking it out. They wouldn't buy it. They had more fun taking it from me, so nobody would know that they had it, and they kept it tucked away with their cigarettes or whatever, And so I just kept going through copies of this. So that for me, this is what this contest is about. It's not about what I have now. It's what I've lost. What I've lost. All the copies that have been taken from me because of closet fans of Winger. Now these guys, I'm telling you, they are one of my top favorite bands. If it wasn't for Skid Row, these guys would be at the top of my list. Top of my list. Why? Because I grew up at that time and I love them. I love their lyrics. I love the way they tell stories. I invite anybody to go give these guys a chance. This one, Miles Away, is awesome. There's a couple of other good tunes on here, but it's not as good as this one. And then anything after this, there was one, the Pull album or whatever. They had one good song, it was called Incognito, but their careers were pretty much in the dumps at that point. All right. So this is my entry for Ronnie's record room. I know I'm trying to cheat a little bit here, but I have multiple copies, and I can't even hardly count the ones that I have lost from them getting ripped off from me. All right. Well, I had a good time today, and I'm going to make another video about Winger sometime down the road because I got a ton more stuff to show you from them. All right. Everybody have a good time. I'd love to see some more videos for the contest. And I really like your channel, Ronnie. And you guys have a good night. Say hi to Wolfie for me. Thanks a lot.